Hello there, people of the world. My name is Lewis Solomons, but some of you may know me as Ginger97 or iQuickscopeUU, and I'm bringing you this video today to try and help as many of you as I can with the Crota hard mode raid in Destiny. Now, I've completed this hard raid about 3 times now, and each time it gets progressively easier. Obviously, that's what's going to happen, but we probably do have one of the best tactics on beating this raid. It may not be the best purely because you need a hunter, but it is up there, and it is so much easier than most of the things that I've been seeing that have taken people 6 hours to do. This could be beaten in an hour, probably not even that. I mean, it took us 40 minutes to beat it last time we've done it, which is nothing compared to what I've seen some people on the streams getting. But yeah, this will be a video with all the little tips and tricks on helping you beat Crota, but this is just the boss. If you'd like to see all the little sections, then please be sure to tell me, and I'll make sure that I get those videos out to help you guys out as much as possible with this raid. Now, the first few tips that I can give you is, 1. Make sure you're either using a gun, which I don't really recommend, but using a gun or have an armor ability that allows you to gain health, whether it be through getting kills with the gun to gain your health, or you gaining orbs to up your health, because otherwise you can't regen health and you need to have that full health pretty much at all times. And as there's no chalice, that's almost impossible unless you have one of these, and I would suggest everyone having it because it helps so much. It's like an essential really that you can regen health. Now the next tip is that you're going to need to have a hunter who's leveled up Bladedancer to the max, well, so that he can constantly go invisible by crouching and by knifing, and he needs to have that increased invisibility unlock because it helps so much, and he will be the person who will take the sword. Now I suggest he's a 32, otherwise you aren't going to deal as much damage as you probably could and probably should, and really if the sword bearer is not a 32 you're going to struggle a lot. Now for this first section where you're by the crystal right at the start where the glass disappears, make sure you take your time and definitely take out the red health acolytes first over the knights. Unless the knights are pushing into that room, take out those acolytes because they have guns and that blast radius is big and they can deal a lot of damage if you don't take them out. So be sure you take them out as a priority over the knights. That is essential, because if you don't, then your team are going to take a lot of damage, which isn't very good at the start of the raid. It is also important that you take your time with taking out these people, because the raid doesn't actually start until you leave the either side of the rooms. But yeah, make sure you take your time and make sure everyone's by the door before you actually start the raid, before you actually like activate Crota and activate the sword bearer spawning, because that means that everything's running smoothly and you can like do these steps that I'm going to give you much easier than having to rush around and panic. So yeah, make sure that your team takes out everyone on both sides. I would suggest 3 on either side to take out each sides, and then all push to the left and wait. And if anyone needs to regen health at that point, try and generate an orb during the killing of either sides, so that the orbs can be spawned ready for if anyone takes damage from the acolytes or knights, for instance. And then everyone can be ready to fully start the raid with full health. That's the best way of starting that beginning bit and making sure everyone's ready to actually take on Crota itself. Now the best advice I could give you is that you have the whole team taking out the knights that spawn up on the tower. You need snipers galore, because otherwise they will try and shoot you and they will do a lot of damage. So make sure you take them out, and plus you need to take them out as quickly as possible. Try and stagger the first guy that runs across so you can kill them both at the same time and not have to wait, otherwise you might not have enough time to hit Crota. Now once these 2 knights are down from the tower, you need 2 people to run down the bottom of the stairs and shoot at the sword bearer with Galahorns, black hammers, icebreakers, whatever you've got, but he needs to go down quickly. And the other 4 players need to sit back in that room and take out the wizard that will come from the tower. That wizard needs to go down, otherwise he'll deal damage to the 2 that are trying to take out the sword bearer. Now this is the tricky bit. What you need to do is have the hunter take the sword. He'll jump up onto the rock and crouch and go invisible, okay? And then, as soon as he goes invisible, you need to call it from the hunter's point of view. You need to say shoot Crota. All the other 5 players need to shoot Crota. You'll already be standing up there as the hunter, and you'll hit Crota as much as you can. And then when he goes red, you'll need to drop the sword and knife Crota to make sure that you go invisible again. Make sure you have the one where you turn invisible from a knife, from crouch, and make sure you have the invisibility effect last longer on from your Bladedancer abilities. This is how we were hitting maximum hits and dealing the most damage we possibly could to Crota by using a hunter who would keep going invisible, being able to hit Crota twice with one sword, which was dealing maximum amount of damage. Once 2 swords are spawned in, you'll have to move all your teammates to the right hand side going through the crystal. This is because 2 ogres will spawn in, and because they're yellow health, you won't be able to go to the middle anymore because they'll constantly shoot at you, plus there'll be a gatekeeper down there keeping guard, so you won't be able to go middle like you normally would. This has made it much harder. However, we found a tactic. What you do is, you have the sword bearer, the guy who always takes the sword, which would be the hunter, kill all the guys that will spawn behind the hunters, the other guys who are taking out Crota's shield. Those 5 people will go to the right hand side, they'll take the tower out, a few of them will watch the bridge, and the other lot will take out one of the ogres that will spawn at the bottom of the right hand side tower. Once the ogre's dead, the guy who is watching the other 5 guys' backs, who's the hunter, will call out when Crota goes back to the middle. This will indicate all of the teammates to run back to the left where you originally started. This is where the fun and hard parts start. Crota will move from the middle to the right. While Crota's on the right, your guys need to take out that ogre as quickly as possible, because otherwise, 1, there'll be loads of fools and cursed fools that spawn behind you and from the tower that won't stop spawning until the ogre's dead. And 2, the sword bearer won't spawn and Crota will enrage if you don't take out that ogre quick enough. When Crota's on about 10% health, he will automatically enrage, and you won't be able to do anything about it because the oversoul will constantly spawn in. So you need to make sure that you leave him on a certain amount of health before your whole team goes to the right, so you're ready to kill him on this next sword, which will be your 3rd sword used. Once the ogre's dead, Crota will move back to the middle, and everyone needs to take out the sword bearer and the tower. So what I would suggest is the 2 people that normally took the sword bearer out still take the sword bearer out, and the other 4 guys still take the tower. That way you don't get confused. You'll shoot Crota. What will happen is Crota will go down, you'll be invisible as the hunter, you'll jump up and you'll hit Crota. However, he will enrage. Once he enrages, the hunter needs to go invisible again via his knife, but then everyone else needs to forget about the tower, forget about the fools, forget about everything, and just shoot Crota so his shield goes down as quickly as possible, because the hunter needs to take out Crota in the time that he's enraged before the oversoul kills you. Make sure that everyone shoots Crota when he enrages, otherwise you're not going to have enough time and everyone's going to die from the oversoul. Shoot Crota and take him out and you'll win. You'll get the rewards. Crota's end will be beat. This is the easiest way possible as long as you have a hunter. Obviously message me and I might be able to help you because I'm the one who's taking the sword at this time. But yeah, I'd like to thank my whole raiding team over at Pulse Squad, because if it wasn't for them we wouldn't have even beaten it. So make sure if you've got a hunter, use this method because it is the easiest way possible. Thanks for watching, peace out, subscribe.